Struggling Cal Golden Bears team. Louisville won the toss. They deferred, and here we go. The opening kickoff is going to be through the end zone. It's a touchback, and Cal's going to have the ball first. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler. Great to have you with us tonight from Louisville. It is a big game for the Cardinals.
True freshman quarterback Sagapolutele.
He throws it backwards on the first play of the game. DeJesus throws it forwards, and Tron Grizel along the sidelines makes a spectacular catch. Well, I guess Cal has announced that they've come to play tonight.
I love the trickery by Brian Harsin early on. Just an excellent throw, but DeJesus. But how about Tron Grizel at 6'4", tracking that football, having spatial awareness, understanding where he needed to get that foot in bounds. That is the fast start the Cal Bears were looking for.
And they have a new backup quarterback now. I mean, that was a good throw by DeJesus. They're going to swing it out to DeJesus with a blocker around the corner with all that speed. One of the top pass catchers in the country. He's been the #1 target for the true freshman quarterback, Brock, that you were just talking about.
Yeah, and Jaron-Keawe Sagapolutele, what a bright spot he has been for the Cal Bears football team this season. I truly believe that he's putting together one of the great all-time true freshman seasons, not just in ACC history, but in college football history. He is a future first-round pick.
And the touchdown number is modest. He has thrown 9 interceptions. When you put on the tape, this guy is so talented. That one over the head of DeJesus, incomplete. And it's going to be 3rd and 4 for Cal into Louisville territory after a couple plays. Netted 33 yards to start the game. And Cal has talked all week and really all year, Brock, about supporting their young quarterback with better play around it.
That's right, Flem, and they can start on this 3rd down right here. 3rd and 4. This is an area that Cal has really struggled in as of late, sustaining drives, keeping the offense on the field. This is going to be a critical 3rd down play early in the game against the best defense in the ACC.
3rd and 4 for the Bears. DeJesus came in motion. Sagapolutele is going to throw it to him. He'll turn it upfield along the sideline. 1st down, Cal. Jabari Mack finally pushes him out of bounds, but you can see how much they want number 21 involved.
Well, he's just a playmaker, and if Louisville is going to play man-to-man coverage, DeJesus is going to win more times than not. I love the play design by Brian Harsin. He creates a bunch formation. It causes hesitation, confusion by that Cardinals defense, and it's an easy pitch and catch to pick up a 1st down for the Bears.
We're going fast and furious here in these first few minutes. Cal has totally reworked its offensive line coming into this game tonight. Now that's an interesting formation on 1st down. And Sagapolutele with pressure coming, delivers to DeJesus again inside the 20, close to another Cal 1st down.
Well, that's just a great job by the true freshman quarterback. He understands that the Cardinals are going to bring one more defender than he has in protection, so he has to get this football out quickly. He finds his go-to target in DeJesus, who wins on the slant. And I tell you what, Cal, all season long, they really haven't played with tempo, and that's what you're seeing out of this Bears offense right now, and it certainly is catching Louisville off guard.
Haven't run the ball yet. 5 passes, 56 yards, and they're inside the 20. They're going to throw it again toward the end zone. Grizel couldn't catch it. That was Mack in coverage again. He's been all over the place on defense, almost like they're picking on him. It's 3rd and 1.
You know, Flem, you just said it. Cal, they've really struggled running the football this year. In fact, they're the 2nd worst in FBS when it comes to yards per game. So how do you try to create a spark for your offense when you can't run the football and teams know you're going to throw it? Brian Harsin, he's going to change the pace of the game. So I really like this up-tempo by Cal right now. We'll see if they can keep the drive alive here on 3rd and short.
Their top tailback is in the backfield. Sagapolutele under center for the 1st time. Kendrick Rapheal will get the carry, and he's got the 1st down and more inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line as the drive continues.
Just an excellent job by the right side of the offensive line for Cal, along with the tight ends. They completely wash away the defensive front for the Cardinals. And this is really impressive by the Cal Bears. They really started slow the last couple weeks. Last week at home against Virginia, of their first 6 drives of the game, only 1 cross midfield. Excellent start for the Bears tonight.
So it's not quite 1st and goal. They could get a 1st down inside the 2. Raphael another carry, this time not much room. Good tackle for D'Angelo Hutchinson from the safety spot.
And as much as we talk about the lack of run game for Cal this season, the one bright spot in the backfield has been Kendrick Rapheal. He's been excellent for the Cal Bears. He's really been the bell cow. He has the second most rushing attempts in the ACC, 11 touchdowns on the year.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? They're not running the ball very effectively, but he's having a really good year. It's almost like there's been nobody else to help in that regard. Sagapolutele incomplete. Into coverage. Tron Grizel, I don't even know if he was ready for the football. It's third down.
Yeah, a little bit of a busted play. You do need to give the Cardinals some credit there, though. In order to go with the football, good job having disciplined eyes in the secondary, not fooled with the play-action pass. Covered up the wide receivers.
3rd and 9 for Cal. Opening drive of this game.
DeJesus in the slot at the bottom of your screen. He's been the go-to target this year on 3rd down for Cal.
And somebody moved. I think it was Cal on the offensive line. That's the one guy who's in the same spot as last week along the offensive line.
And he's really been steady for Cal all year long. Veteran player, really good. Spazovic Moko, number 66, just getting a little bit of a head start. The big fella at 6'5", 335 pounds. And that's been a little bit of the story for Cal this year. It's self-inflicted wounds. Cannot be going backwards when you're in the red zone.
3rd and 14 from right about the 15-yard line. Sagapolutele in the shotgun. 4-man rush. And he's going to go down. The sack for Louisville. A.J. Green got there. They only rush 4. They still get to the quarterback. And that's going to bring the field goal unit out.
Well, we talked about it in the open. I truly believe that this is one of the best defenses in all the country. And you're going to see A.J. Green right here on the edge. Watch the push he gets on right tackle Braden Miller. This is just an effort play, and you can see Miller's playing on his heels. He gives up his chest. A.J. Green gets into him. And for a Louisville defense that was bending, good job holding up in the red zone.
Field goal try for Chase Meyer. 40-yard attempt. Good snap and hold. That kick, though, is wide right and no good. So after all that for Cal, a nice drive to start.
Player, linebacker Kate Uluwave hurt his hand last week. Was a game-time decision today, but with it being a pain tolerance issue, wasn't in a good enough place to go.
All right, thank you, Stormy. Lots of news there, and not great news for either side. First pass of the game, Chris Bell, who's been one of the top wide receivers in college football, with his first catch of the night. You hate not to be able to see both Uluwave on the Cal defensive side and Isaac Brown at running back, and maybe Louisville will lean on their experienced quarterback a little more tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I really believe Miller Moss has played really well in stretches this year. It was interesting talking with him yesterday. He said that he's yet to play a complete game, something he's trying to do tonight.
Play fake. He's going to throw it short, and a nice open field tackle. Jaleel Skinner, the tight end, with a catch, but the immediate tackle, that ends up losing yardage.
Boy, Cal really coming out the gates tonight, playing inspired football. This is exactly the way that they want to start the game defensively, with a 3rd and 8. A week ago against Virginia, this was that down and distance that just bothered Cal so much. They would get into 3rd and longs against the Cavaliers, but then they couldn't get off the field. We'll see if they can create some pressure on Miller Moss here to force a quick throw and get off the football field on 3rd down.
Keyjuan Brown is in the game. He's the starting running back for Louisville, but he motioned out of the backfield, so Moss is back there all by himself on 3rd and long. Pocket holds up, he dumps it, it's caught, the turn upfield, and that's enough for a first down. So same story for the Cal defense, and a nice conversion for Jacob Stewart and the Louisville offense.
That's a really nice job by Miller Moss. He starts on the left side of the field. Watch his eyes. He's trying to work the left side of the field, nothing open, stays calm in the pocket, trusts his offensive line, delivers a strike and picks up a first down in the soft spot, and that's exactly what I was just saying. Cal really struggling on 3rd down as of late.
They had to play so many snaps on defense last week, and that was part of it. Well, there's a nice first run of the game for Keyjuan Brown, who's taking Isaac Brown's spot. And when Keyjuan's had chances this year, he's been very good.
Well, this is just a running back room here at Louisville that is stacked with talent, and expect the best out of Keyjuan Brown tonight. This is his first opportunity to be the starting running back for the Cardinals, to carry the load, to get the majority of the opportunities, and I expect him to make the most of it tonight. tonight.
I mean, there might be a drop-off because there would be a drop-off for almost every team in college football. That's how good Isaac Brown has been. But not many teams have a second running back as good as Keyjuan Brown. High snap, and they hand it to Keyjuan, who's going to bounce it right side and then cut it upfield enough to get the first down. Well, how about our impact players brought to you by Pizza Hut, Brock?
Well, for Louisville, it's going to be Keyjuan Brown. I just mentioned it. He's finally getting his opportunity to be the go-to running back. And then wide receiver Chris Bell. I truly believe he's one of the best wide receivers in the entire country. Big physical guy, 220 pounds. And then for Cal, it's Aiden Keon and Ina, the big defensive tackle up front, 6'3", 320 pounds. He is going to have a monster game and be disruptive if Cal's going to get the win.
Play fake, and Miller Moss going downfield wide open, and the pass was high, juggled, and it hit the turf. Intended for Skinner's trying to sell it, but it's ruled incomplete. He was wide open.
Well, that's an early missed opportunity for the Cardinals. Certainly a catchable football for Skinner. Football's a little bit high, but the tight end at 6'5", he can climb the ladder and help out his quarterback and go up and make this catch. But also, being a former quarterback, I'm sure Miller Moss is saying, hey, if I just pull my tight end to the sideline, make it a little bit more catchable, we have an explosive game.
A 2nd and 10 for Louisville, still on their side of the field. Duke Watson, who Stormy just mentioned a moment ago, back healthy for the first time in a while. Explosive running back in his own right, the sophomore from Georgia. Next to Moss, he'll hand it to Watson straight ahead, and he's tackled. Aaron Hampton, who's taking Uluave's spot at linebacker, had a big game last week.
A monster game, 15 tackles in a reserve role. Kedu Uluave, really the leader, the heartbeat of the defense for this Cal Bears team. Goes off after the first series last week against Virginia. In steps Aaron Hampton. His first time getting extended playing time. Certainly made the most of it with 15 tackles a week ago.
And you're reading that right. He is from Anchorage, Alaska. There are not a lot of college football stars from the state of Alaska. They call him King Salmon. It's a good nickname.
Such a great nickname.
3rd and 6 for the Cardinals. Watson leaves the backfield. Moss steps up in the pocket, throws middle, and it's caught. A turn upfield inside the 20. Colin Lacey inside the 10. Big play. It'll be 1st and goal for Louisville.
Well, just excellent quarterback play by Miller Moss. Watch how he navigates the pocket. He keeps his eyes down the field. He climbs forward. That's what his quarterback coach, Jeff Brom, wants him to do. It allows him to remain a passer.
Defense, 1st and goal, Louisville. Almost like a pistol formation, but Watson left the backfield. Moss across the middle. That's caught inside the 5 by Chris Bell and down to the 1.
Chris Bell, such a physical player, so tough to bring down, but you have to give Louisville some credit early on, converting on 2 critical 3rd downs. And Cal, both times, they showed pressure, they mugged up some linebackers, and then they dropped back into zone coverage. You have to wonder if defensive coordinator Terrence Brown is going to start bringing some man pressures and tightening up the coverage as we move through the football game.
The big boys are on the field now. Extra offensive lineman out there. Watson in the backfield. Moss under center, 2nd and goal. Handoff, Watson bounces it right, and touchdown. Great first drive for the Cardinals, and Duke Watson back healthy this week on the field, scores the touchdown to finish it off. Cooper Ranvier, the place kicker for Louisville. He's done a very good job. Special teams overall for the Cardinals has been outstanding. Extra point up and good. Lots of reasons. The schedule isn't easy. They might lose some tiebreakers to get into the ACC championship game. We'll talk about that as we go on throughout our broadcast, but they're in position with a win tonight to move a step closer after an opening drive touchdown, 7-0 Louisville before Cal comes back on the field. Let's check in with studio. Wow. Thanks, Kevin. We've seen Cam Coleman up close and personal. That kid could play.
Force to reckon with.
First play of this drive for Cal, and it's a little swing pass. Kendrick Rapheal, nice tough run after the catch for the running back outside to the 30-yard line. Gain of 5 on first down. Bears moved the ball just fine their first drive, but they came up empty.
They did, and there was really good tempo to that drive. So I expect Cal to kind of keep up that pace and see more of the play like you just saw. More quick throws to the perimeter. That will be an extension of the run game for Cal tonight.
2nd and 5. Sagapolutele in the pocket, steps up. Is he going to try to scramble? No, he's going to throw it. It's tipped up and might have been intercepted. Tron Grizel, it looked like it hit the turf, but it might have just hit him. And Tayon Holloway came up with the ball. The officials, there was some confusion about the signal. I think they said incomplete.
Boy, it's close. I think this ball hit. Yeah, I agree. The ball hit the turf as JKS was trying to get the football to Tron Grizel over the middle of the field.
Real close. That angle is hard to tell. And they're going to stop play.
The ruling of an incomplete pass is under further review.
ACC crew, John Noley, the referee, Bill Stimmel, part of the replay crew. So we'll take one more look. We're going to take a quick break while they review this play and see if we can see. Did it hit the turf? Tough to tell. We'll see. It's a big call coming up.
After further review, the ruling of an incomplete pass is upheld. Upstairs in the replay room, and the ball
did hit the turf. I mean, just barely, but it did. So the call on the field was officially upheld, which means incomplete pass, not an interception like Louisville's defense thought they had, and it's 3rd and 5 for the Cal offense.
And now let the chess match begin between Brian Harsin and Ron English. If English decides to go with man coverage, keep an eye for DeJesus. He's in the backfield.
He's going to leave the backfield now.
Man coverage by the Cardinals.
Let's see if Sagapolutele goes to his security blanket. Jacob DeJesus, that's the direction he's going, and the pass is knocked away, incomplete. The safety came over and made a really good play on the ball. That's Hutchinson.
That's an unbelievable play by D'Angelo Hutchinson coming from the middle of the field. If he doesn't get there and get a hand on this football, this is going to be a big-time first down pickup for the Cal Bears. Just an excellent play, reading the quarterback's eyes, breaking on the football. Hutchinson having a great season here for Louisville.
That was a really good play. I mean, DeJesus, he had a chance to make that catch.
He did.
His hands were on the ball, and maybe you just give Hutchinson credit for kind of ripping it away there. So Cal will have to punt for the first time. Almost had it blocked. A low line drive squib punt that's going to work out better than it looked. It'll be down at about the 31-yard line. Our drive recap is brought to you by AutoZone. This will be the drive that Louisville had to start their offensive night.
Well, Louisville, an offense that started slow a couple times this season, really got out to a fast start tonight behind the arm of Miller Moss. And to me, it was the 3rd down pickups. Cal's defense did some good things. They made a couple 3rd and longs for this Louisville offense to overcome. But they figured it out. Miller Moss made some big-time throws, and then it was Duke Watson, who's finally healthy and back in the lineup, a guy that nearly averaged 9 yards per carry a season ago. Huge get to get back in the lineup tonight for the Cardinals.
A 3rd and 8 conversion, a 3rd and 6 conversion on that drive. Keyjuan Brown gets the carry on first down here. Their second possession, the Cardinals up 7-0. Final 4 minutes of quarter number 1, a gain of 2, maybe 3. 10-play opening drive for Jeff Brom, who's, I mean, his teams throughout his coaching career have been known for quarterback play, offenses, putting points on the board. The point you made at the start of our telecast is it just feels like a more complete Louisville team this year. They have offense, they have playmakers, they have a big-time defense. A dump down short, and the tight end gets wrestled to the turf by Harrison Taggart. Nice open field tackle. I think he lost a yard on that play.
Well, that was a really good job by the defensive front for Cal just to get some pressure on Miller Moss. It was really the defensive end, number 10, Jaden Wayne, came unblocked, forced Moss off his spot, which is why he had to check it down. And here we go again, 3rd and 8. The big question is, can Cal get off the field? In order to do so, I think they need to speed up the clock in Miller Moss. I'd like to see them bring some pressure and play some man coverage.
It really does. It feels like the question of the whole game. They get Moss on the move. Moss is going to throw on the run, incomplete. Well, they did exactly what you said they needed to do, and they force a 4th down.
And that's exactly what Cal needed, because you just feel like the way that they're built, if Louisville was able to go down the field and get points here, especially a touchdown, Cal's not built to come back from 14 points. That was a critical stop. Great job by Cal to get the football back for their offense.
There were a couple guys in there, but I think Chris Victor from his defensive end spot was really the one who created a lot of the havoc on that play. Jacob DeJesus back deep to receive. The return game could be a factor tonight, but you have 2 of the best punt kick returners in the country in this game, and DeJesus is one of them for Cal. He'll signal fair catch here and make it at about the 25-yard line. So Cal offense right back on the field. Protection, whether it's even snap issues that have plagued Cal, needs some help from his teammates. DeJesus, another catch. Man, he has been heavily involved in this first quarter.
And that's a great point that you make about Sagapolutele, you know, because I truly believe beyond the physical tool set, he has the mental makeup, the leadership, the intangibles to really be an elite quarterback at the college football level, but he needs some help around him. He can't do it by himself. He anticipates throws, great accuracy, needs his supporting cast to step up.
Play fake, and his pass got tipped at the line of scrimmage. So on 2nd down and 4, Pass was tipped. Now it's third down for the Bears.
Well, and you can see what the game plan is for Cal, and it's really been this all season long. This football team goes as JKS goes. You see it. They're not really trying to establish the run. It's been a difficult spot for them. They're going to win or lose on the left arm of Sagapolutele.
From their own side of the field, 3rd and 4. Back to pass. Pressure picked up. That throw, and he hits his target for a first down. That's Mark Hamper in the middle of the field. A gain of 8. They needed 4.
That was a good job at JKS, just staying calm in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field. And then I love what Mark Hamper did. He found a soft spot in the zone, sits down for his quarterback, gives him his chest, and that's the pickup Cal desperately needed.
One note. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Bastian Swinney, part of that offensive line reshuffling for Cal. Snaps so far have been better. He's doing a good job starting at center. Sagapolutele down the field. Pass is caught inside the 30. And then the tackle inside the 25. Karan Adams with a big play through the air.
Well, I love this. Karan Adams can really stretch a field. I mean, this guy can truly burn. Watch him on the deep over here, and you're going to get a little half roll by JKS. So it creates misdirection for this Louisville defense. It's a great throw and catch and an explosive gain that Cal has really struggled to find this year. That's the one thing that this offense has not been able to do. All of their drives have been so methodical. 10+ plays when they score. To get a chunk play like that, that's big time for the Bears.
That was 39 yards. Plus, you're doing a good job drawing and diagnosing and telling us, teaching some football. And Cal's decided to go up tempo on us. We had to double box it. Bears are usually one of the slowest tempo teams in the country. Not so far tonight. 2nd down and 9. Sagapolutele, all kinds of time. Back shoulder, caught, and touchdown. What a throw and catch by the tight end, Landon Morris. Some life for Cal. The final minute of this first quarter, an extra point away from tying this game.
How about that throw by Sagapolutele? We were just talking about it. One of his superpowers is his downfield accuracy. He put that football on a rope where only Landon Morris can make a play on it. I'll tell you what, this true freshman quarterback is special.
That was perfect placement of that throw. All passes on the drive for Cal. 6 plays, 74 yards. Extra point is good. And the Bears have tied this game. What a throw.
What a throw is right, Flem. Not many quarterbacks in college football can make throws like this. It's excellent coverage by the linebacker TJ Quinn. You see where the location of the throw had to be. Landon Morris did an excellent job going up, keeping his body control, making a play for his young quarterback. But you just cannot get enough of this throw. Look at the location of that.
That is as good as coverage can be, and Cal beats it anyway because of their young left-handed quarterback.
The old saying, there is no coverage for a perfect throw.
And, I mean, Cal also made some plays to help their quarterback on that drive. Good protection, gave him time. Couple contested catches from 2 different Cal receivers.
And just overall great complementary football. We've been talking about all game long. Can Cal's defense get off the field on 3rd down? Well, they finally got a 3rd down stop. You get the football back to your offense. You pick up a couple 3rd downs. And what do you know? JKS makes a perfect throw. And now we have a tie ball game.
I mean, a long way to go in this one, but the momentum was building on Louisville's side, and that feels like a big sequence for Cal in both directions, just to give him some hope, some life.
Things are right around him. He is excellent. I had a really enjoyable conversation with him yesterday. A very mature young man, a kid that just gets it.
And he hits his receiver, Chris Bell. Another catch for Bell, who's gone over 2,000 career yards with his first quarter performance here tonight. That's a gain of 10.
Cardinals.
More than 2,000 career receiving yards, has sort of bided his time, earned more playing time. That will be the final seconds of quarter number 1.
Timeout on the field.
And we've got a good, echoing a lot of things that Brock Osweiler said during that first quarter. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Buonantony from Louisville, Kentucky, 7-7 We start the second quarter of this ACC game. Duke Watson in the backfield for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, and a pass deflected, knocked away, incomplete. That's Zeke Massis, who's become one of the best in the country at doing just that.
He is. He leads the ACC currently in passes defended. This is good on good outside. This is Bell and Zeke Massis, 2 guys that are going to play on Sundays at the next level. Going to be a ton of fun to watch who wins this one tonight. Zeke Massis getting the early win, up 1-0.
And we just heard from Justin Wilcox. He has a knack. This Cal program has a knack for finding defensive backs. One of the best programs in the country for that. Miller Moss throws along the sideline, and that one's knocked away by Paco Austin. So his counterpart on the other side, who also has been doing that a lot.
I was just going to say, Flem, to your point, it's not just Zeke Massis, it's Brent Austin. And these two lead the ACC in passes defended. It is going to be really difficult on Miller Moss, Chris Bell, and Colin Lacey tonight to move the ball through the air like they like to do. 2 really fun matchups that we're going to enjoy watching tonight.
So 3rd and 10, another chance for what Justin Wilcox was just saying. Our defense to get off the field on 3rd down. And pressure picked up. Moss throws across the middle. That pass caught, and an open field tackle. He's going to be stopped short. Chris Bell, who's so hard to get down, he's about a ½ yard short. This will be a decision here for Jeff Braun.
That's a really good open field tackle. Chris Bell, 6'2", 220 pounds, really strong, really powerful. He excels at running these shallow crosses, turning them into big time games.
As much as some other programs. In fact, you look at that graphic. 6 4th down conversion attempts, the fewest in all of FBS. Moss is going to sneak it, and he's going to get just enough. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot. Cal's pointing the other direction, but I think he definitely got the yard they needed. 1st down, Cardinals.
I have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised that Jeff are at home. Let's pick up a 1st down, keep the momentum going. That is big time by that offense.
I mean, you see those 4th down numbers. It goes against what everybody else in the country seems to be doing these days. It's working for Louisville. They're 7-1. They're the 15th ranked team in the country, and the pass was deflected back to Moss. He caught it, and now he's on the run. Oh my goodness. He had his pass just totally rejected, and it went right back into his hands. Josiah Wagner was a guy who got his hands on it. It turned into a big play.
Well, sometimes football is all about the lucky bounces. Cal bringing a nickel pressure with Wagner, number 8. Does a great job reading the quarterback's eyes, gets his hands up. But you got to credit Miller Moss. He stays alive in the play. The ball comes right back to him. And what do you know? There's an explosive gain for Louisville.
I mean, he turned it into a 19-yard run.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a heads-up play by the quarterback.
I mean, in the stat book, it says Miller Moss to Miller Moss for 19-yard reception. He's back to throw again, trying to go deep, and incomplete. Cal player was there trying to get a hit on the quarterback, kind of pulled up at the last minute, and no flag was thrown.
Well, Jeff Brom trying to dial up a shot down the field. He's one of the best play callers in all of America to find and create explosive gains, but credit the secondary for Cal. Great coverage down the field, nowhere to go with the football.
2nd and 10 inside the Cal 40-yard line. Louisville's already in field goal. They have some of the best long-range field goal kicking in the country. Part of the reason why they don't try for a lot of 4th downs. Play fake. Moss across the middle, wide open, and the pass caught inside the 20. That's Dakari Collins with the catch and run. 1st down, Cardinals gain of 21.
Well, I want you to see what the play action does. As the quarterback goes play action, watch these backers step up, and that's what allows the wide receiver to get to the 2nd level. He's wide open. I mean, this is as easy as it gets for a quarterback wide receiver. When you have a run game that is running for over 220 yards a game over the last 3 games like Louisville has, that's the type of bite you get out of linebackers when you go play action pass.
Keyjuan Brown in the backfield. 1st down, Louisville. Now the throw, and it's almost intercepted. Oh my goodness. Drew Polidor broke on the ball beautifully, was right there. Cal's had problems with drops on offense. Now they have a drop on defense.
I want you to see where Polidor comes from. He's trailing in man coverage. Polidor starts back here, and he has to work over all of this junk in coverage. I think Miller Moss just loses sight of where the safety is, and that's a massive missed opportunity for this Cal defense.
I mean, it's really good play, but he didn't finish the play by picking the pass off. Moss got away with one there. Brown takes a handoff left side. Nice hole. Keyjuan Brown inside the 15 down to about the 12. So a good gain on 2nd and long of 6 to set up 3rd and 4.
You have to wonder what Louisville and Jeff Brom, what they're thinking right now. Is this 4-down territory? If it is 4-down territory, don't be surprised if the Cardinals keep the football on the ground. If Jeff Brom's thinking, hey, if we don't pick this up, we're kicking a field goal, I expect them to try to hit Chris Bell, who's at the bottom of your screen.
And you see him with his call sheet. He is the head coach. He is the play caller for Louisville. On 3rd down, Moss, and that one rejected, and this time he couldn't catch it on the deflection. So they got to him twice and tipped passes. Once went for a big play, not this time. It's 4th and 4. They didn't run the ball, and here comes a field goal team.
Well, this is a great defense call by Terrence Brown. Watch with the pressure from the linebackers. The offensive line, they have to sift down, and this allows the defensive tackle to come scot-free. If this doesn't happen, Miller Moss is going to be able to hit Chris Bell for a slant, for sure for a 1st down, if not a touchdown.
Derek Wilkins, the guy who got in there, got the hand on it. Ranvier, the place kicker. Just a 30-yard attempt, and the kick is up, and it is good. Very reliable kick game for Louisville. Part of the reason why there's 7-1
college football.
Yeah, you got a lot of folks to root for.
Pretty cool.
10-7 Louisville. Cal's getting the ball back here in the 2nd quarter. That has more realistic possibilities for their conference championship game matchups than the ACC. Sagapolutele throws. DeJesus with the catch, and all the way out to midfield. Jacob DeJesus with the catch and run. First play of the drive, and another pass right on the money from JKS.
Really excellent play design by Brian Harsin. You're going to see DeJesus. He comes free, but it's because of the action by the other offensive players, and it gets the defense to bite up. Eye violations. They get their eyes caught into the backfield, and what do you know? Cal picks up another explosive gain.
That was 25 more yards. Big plays have been there for Cal in this first half. To midfield right away. Rapheal in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Straight ahead run with a big hole. Rapheal inside the 30 and tripped up close to the 25. Corey Gordon got him on the turf. Might have saved a touchdown.
Well, this is an excellent block by the tackle. 77, Braden Miller, helps out his guard, climbs up to the 2nd level, and just a gaping hole for Rapheal. And this Cal offense is hitting on all cylinders, the best they've looked all year.
And Miller's one of those guys back in the starting lineup. He's been in and out all year. Totally reshuffled along the front so far. I would think Harsin, Wilcox, and Cal have to be pretty pleased. DeJesus in motion. Rapheal takes the carry over the left side. Another good push up front. Really not used to seeing a whole lot of this from the Bears down close to the 20.
And I think you need to credit Brian Harsin right now. I love what he's doing on this drive, playing in a lot of 12 personnel. What does that mean? 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. When you play with 2 tight ends on the field, it forces a defense to simplify their scheme. And right now, that is allowing Cal to be in control of the tempo of this game.
Another one of those bunch formations on the left. That leaves DeJesus all alone on the other side. They swing the pass out, and Louisville was ready this time. Rapheal with a catch, but Clev Lubin made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, how about that play by Clev Lubin, number 50? Watch him break on this football. I mean, he's being double teamed, would not be denied. That is a heck of an individual effort to force a 3rd down.
I mean, you could almost call that triple team.
Unbelievable.
He went right through those blockers. That's a loss of 4. That was a big play.
Man on a mission. Here he is on your 3rd down play. We'll see if he can impact this 3rd and 9.
It's gotten much louder here for 3rd down. And the dump down short in the open field. 1st down and more. It's going to be 1st and goal. That's Cole Basha, who's been playing a little more these last few weeks. 1st and goal, Cal.
Nice play design. Basha just able to slip under the vertical route. He gets lost in coverage, which is why he's wide open. Louisville playing a zone defense, dropping back to the sticks. I love how JKS gets that football out of his hand and lets his playmaker go to work.
Part of the field where Cal has not always been super efficient. That's their 3rd play of 20-plus yards on this drive. Sagapolutele going to try to run, and he had nowhere to go. I mean, I think he had a pass option that was covered up the tight end, so no gain. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Really good job of that Cardinals defense being disciplined with their eyes. Brian Harsin presenting a lot of misdirection for this Louisville defense led by Ron English. Good job there on 1st down.
See if the Cardinals defense can hold here. 6 plays, 70 yards. The former Bears player, Ron English, who's the Louisville defensive coordinator, going up against his alma mater. Sagapolutele rushes up under center, hands it off. Rapheal bounces one would-be tackler, not a second. Lubin again was in on that play. Maybe a yard for Rapheal. Cal breaks that formation. Play clock winding down. Will they get it snapped? No. Everybody moved, but the ball didn't get snapped. So everybody else knew they needed to get that play started, but the center did not snap the ball.
Offense, number 77.
It is really difficult for an offensive line to hear a clap, get off at the same time. I kind of like the old school foot raise.
3rd and goal. Rapheal moves into the backfield behind Sagapolutele. Now they're going to swing it backwards to DeJesus. He's going to throw again into coverage, incomplete. Now that was taking a big chance, trying to hit Mark Hamper. The 2nd pass for Jacob DeJesus already in the 1st half. The field goal unit will come on the field.
I mean, really dangerous throw by DeJesus, but at the end of the day, he did give Mark Hamper an opportunity. I mean, he's throwing this thing into heavy traffic, but he does put it in a place where his receiver can make a play on the ball. Just a missed opportunity for Cal, but a chance at 3 points here.
27-yard try, kind of an awkward angle. Kick is up, and kick is good for Meyer, who missed on his 1st try tonight. This one ties the game at 10. Another good drive for the in Louisville, coming together after a really difficult week for the folks here in this proud town. ACC game here under the lights on Saturday night, 10-10. Kickoff for Cal through the end zone. That's a touchback, and we'll go back into studio. Another update with Kevin Connors. Wow, what a game. Thanks, Kevin. And look, Vanderbilt, they are in kind of that Louisville position where they may need some help. They may not make their conference championship game. They are going to have an argument for the college football playoff if they keep piling up wins. Louisville gets the ball back, tie game. Keyjuan Brown with the carry on 1st down for a gain of 2, maybe 3. And there is a penalty flag on the play. We haven't had many of those in this 1st half.
It's going to be a legal formation on Louisville. Only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage.
The illegal formation. Offense, more than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
A different way to say exactly what you said. Well, they were looking over to the Cal sideline. Do you want to accept that penalty? It would have been 2nd and what, 7? And instead, they'll make it 1st and 15. They do accept the penalty. Couple of tight ends in motion with Brown behind Miller Moss, and they'll hand it to Brown along the right side. He hits the hole fast and kind of gets back exactly where they would have been if the penalty had been declined. That's a gain of 8.
Really good job by this Louisville offensive line, in particular the right tackle, number 60. Keep an eye at the top of your screen. Just winning his one-on-one, creating a pancake block, gaping hole for Keyjuan Brown. And as much as a Jeff Brom football team loves explosive plays, throwing the football around the yard, the reason why Louisville is sitting at 7-1, it's because of the run game. The last 3 games averaging over 220 yards per game, something that they need to get back to tonight.
Cal folks told us they thought maybe this is the best offensive line they've gone up against this year. Moss across the middle completes that one. And the tackle, Chris Bell with the catch. Brought down about a yard short, 3rd and 1.
Really nice job by the Cardinals overcoming the penalty. Good plays on 1st and 2nd down to make this a 3rd and manageable. Don't be surprised if they keep it on the ground here with 3rd and 1.
You saw how animated Jeff Brom was. He wanted to get that play in quickly and get to the line of scrimmage quickly. He does not hide his emotions. Big gain and a nice move. Brown into Cal territory, still going all the way down to the 30. What a run for Keyjuan Brown, gain of 36.
Well, you need to credit this offensive line, but look at Wayne for Cal. There's no edge presence. There's nobody out here to set contain for this Cal defense. This is just too easy for an uber talented running back room led by Keyjuan Brown tonight.
After the 36-yard run, he gets it again. Straight ahead run for a gain of 5.
You got to think that's just a mistake. You saw Jeff Brom. He wanted his offense to get up to the line of scrimmage, play with tempo. Anytime you do that, you put a lot of pressure on a defense to make your call and get lined up properly. And you saw there was just no containment player there for the Bears on 3rd and 1.
Keyjuan Brown's doing a pretty good Isaac Brown impersonation in this first half. With the big play on the ground, he's got 70 yards off the field for this one. Play fake, and Moss dropped the ball, and he has to make sure. He tried to pick it up and keep the play going, and then almost dropped it again. So they'll lose yardage on that 2nd down play, and lucky they didn't turn it over.
Yeah, just a little bit of issue with the ball handling here. This is going to be a hard play action pass. You see Miller Moss, I think he just gets the football stuck with Duke Watson for just a half a second too long, loses the football. You never want to go backwards on 2nd down.
You watch that ball sit there on the turf for a while. That could have been a disaster for Louisville. They're in field goal range as it stands, 3rd and 10.
I was just going to say, you're in field goal range. If you're Miller Moss, you need to be smart with the football here and make a quick decision.
Louisville's going to use its first timeout of the first half with 2:47 on the clock. Played game 10-10, 3rd and 10 for Louisville in field goal range. 2:47 to go until halftime. Miller Moss in the shotgun, going downfield over the top, and the pass is knocked away incomplete. Intended for Colin Lacey. 4th down. Good play on the ball there by the Cal DB. That looks like Cam Sidney.
Wow, really good effort by Lacey. It was close. I almost thought he had a foot in there. Cam Sidney gives him a late shove. Keep an eye on his right foot. Yeah, toe goes out first. Good call by the officials. Really good coverage by Cam Sidney down the field.
A 49-yard try. Cooper Ranvier has been one of the best kickers in the country. Kick on the way. That one is good. So nice for a coach, for a team to have a guy you really rely on, and Louisville feels very confident in their kicking game.
It's a huge deal when you don't have to be ultra aggressive in 3rd and long situations. Feel like you have to always go for it on 4th down. When you know you have 3 points in your back pocket and you have confidence in your kicker, it's a big time deal for a team.
And you know what? If you make a 49-yarder, I'm cool. You can go high-five everybody on the team if you want, like Ranvier just did. And the difference in the game really is that he's got a big smile on his face. Cal missed a 40-yarder. Otherwise, that would have been the kick to tie. He's still celebrating. You got the diamond stud earrings. Where's McAfee? He would like a kicker with some swag.
Hey, he's a good kicker, man. We saw him pounding some kicks in pregame warm-ups that I think would have been good for probably from 60.
He's got it going on. Now remember, Louisville won the toss and deferred, so they put points on the board final 3 minutes of the first half. Feels like a big drive coming up for Cal because the Cardinals will get the ball to start the second half. DeJesus lets the ball go over his head into the end zone. That's a touchback. Speaking of DeJesus, man, he has been everywhere for Cal on offense.
He has been outstanding and doing it all. This is the first play of the game. Coming out the gates, little trickery, throws a great ball to Tron Grizel down the field, and then just doing it all in the receiving game. Already 5 receptions, 60 yards. He has such great rapport and chemistry and trust with his young signal caller, and you see it paying off early in the first half tonight.
I mean, he's a guy who has fought so hard to get to where he is. Rapheal tries to bounce that one right side, and he'll get tackled inbounds. Stormy, you've gotten to know Jacob DeJesus. He really does. He's got a great story.
Yeah, you said it. He didn't have a single offer actually coming out of high school. He went to a junior college where he became a JUCO All-American and still didn't have any offers. Nobody wanted to take a chance on him because of his size. In fact, his now fiance Kirsten was cold emailing coaches across the country with his tape just to try to get him a look. He got one D1 offer to UNLV, became one of their top players almost instantly, and now look at him, what he's doing for the hometown Cal Golden Bears, his dream school growing up.
He grew up into this first half. Cal ball, 2nd and 6. Cal's got all 3 of its timeouts. Louisville has 2 timeouts. We'll see how the head coaches want to manage through this final 2 minutes. And the throw taking a hit, but the delivery to Jacob DeJesus, another catch for him, and a first down. Cal.
Excellent job by the true freshman quarterback, recognizing the all-out pressure by the Cardinals, getting the football out of his hand quickly, gets a fresh set of downs, and now they can really get into this 2-minute drive. You had to be careful. With Louisville having 2 timeouts themselves, you didn't want to give an opportunity to let the Cardinals have the football before half. Now that you have a first down, you can kind of put your foot on the gas. You have plenty of time with 3 timeouts.
I think it's a point you often make in these sort of situations. 1 first down kind of unlocks an offense.
Yes, it does.
Pressure coming. Sagapolutele throws, hits DeJesus again. What a throw on the move, angling his body back. And DeJesus with another catch, 21 more yards. First down, Cal.
Tell you what, JKS, not the most mobile guy, but does a tremendous job navigating the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field, and DeJesus had to work all the way across the formation. You see the location of the throw. JKS loves a good back shoulder throw, and here Cal is. They're about 5 yards away from feeling really good about a field goal attempt. Plenty of time on the clock to try to go get 6.
And that kid Stormy just told his amazing story. Jacob DeJesus, nobody wanted him. He's one of the best slot style receivers in the country. Flag thrown. Rapheal breaks a tackle and gets spun down inside the 30. Lubin makes a tackle, but that's good enough for another Cal first down. We'll see if that's offsides maybe.
Giving a formation.
Nope.
Offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that negates a 13-yard run.
It's the same exact penalty that Louisville just had a couple drives ago. When you put 3 receivers to the field and then your single receiver to the boundary, which is DeJesus, if you're going to send him in motion, 2 receivers need to be on the ball at the top of the field. There was only 1. Just a mental error that cannot happen in a critical situation.
I mean, not only does that negate the big gain, now you're back out of field goal range by a lot. Close to midfield. Play fake. Sagapolutele is going to take the sack. Lubin, Gerard, both there to get him to the ground. Clock moves. Cal not using those timeouts. That's a loss of 6 on that sack.
We'll give a lot of credit to the secondary up top. Watch how they pass off the wide receivers, nowhere to go with the football, and that's just a young quarterback that's learning on the fly. Hey, if the defense covers up your targets, bury the ball on the ground, save the field position. You cannot go backwards in a 2-minute drive.
I mean, they're letting the clock wind here, which tells you how confident they are about moving this ball toward the end zone. In the pocket, Sagapolutele throws downfield. That you would think is going to be a penalty. Grizel looks like he got tackled. Now the Louisville defender does not like it. Holloway, I mean, he's really arguing.
Defense number 25. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Well, Tayon Holloway might not like the call by the officials, but this is just about as clear cut as it gets to defensive pass interference. Holloway working on Tron Grizel. You're going to see loses his technique, gets a little bit handsy late. And I don't know, maybe that's a little bit of Grizel slipping, and it just looks a little worse than it is. But to the official that is behind Holloway, it looks like a clear-cut grab.
Yeah, it's funny to watch that again. You can see why Holloway wasn't happy with the call.
I agree.
Fans are booing. The clock is definitely a factor. Cal did not use a timeout. So down to 36 seconds. Sagapolutele, little shoulder fake. Going down the sideline, incomplete. Knocked away, and guess who? That was Holloway. After committing the penalty, came back and made a really nice play.
You know, if you're Cal, I understand you're not taking your timeouts right now because you're just concerned of giving the football back to Louisville. But now with 31 seconds, Louisville's not going to have an opportunity to drive the field and go get points if you don't get anything here. I think you need to start using these timeouts. You are in field goal range right now, but this is a game where I think you're really going to need touchdowns, not field goals, if you're ultimately going to get the win. Like to see Cal use these timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the point you're making is you can use the middle of the field. You can use the whole field with 3 timeouts. Now flags thrown, or no, a timeout.
Cal calls timeout. It's their first of the half. It's 30 seconds.
Play clock, I think, was winding down. So Cal uses their first timeout. Get organized with 31 seconds on the clock. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made.
You can work the entire field. The full playbook is at your disposal, and that's right. If you can't get a touchdown here, you need to get as close as humanly possible to make this as easy as a kick as you can.
Rapheal in the backfield alongside Sagapolutele. Second down and 10. Cal. Louisville showing some pressure. They bring, it looks like an extra rusher. Throw across the middle. Rapheal wide open. He's going to try to turn the corner. He does. Inside the 10. Nice move by Kendrick Rapheal. Turned the short pass into a big gain of 23.
That just shows the development of this true freshman quarterback. It's not easy for freshman quarterbacks to learn what a check down to your running back is. You always want to push the ball down the field, but that's a great job at just taking what the defense has given you. There was nowhere to go with the ball down the field, so what do? You take the check down and you end up picking up an explosive gain anyways. Big time heads up play by JKS.
So now Cal, in their own minds, can say, forget the field goal. We want a touchdown.
That's right.
First and goal with 2 timeouts. They'll hand it off. Rapheal straight ahead. They're going to have to use one of those timeouts here. A run play gets them down to the 7.
Cal, it's their second of the half. It's 30 seconds.
So now you only have
coverage and make Cal earn it.
Let's see. Second and goal. Pressure comes. That pass out to the right flat to Jesus is going to get shoved out of bounds. Tried to get to the pylon. Couldn't quite get there. Clock stops. Third and goal from inside the 3.
Well, Justin Wilcox thought DeJesus went out of bounds, and boy, it sure looked like he got out of bounds to me.
Okay.
Game clock operator. Please put 12 seconds on the game clock. 12 seconds. It'll start on the snap.
Yeah. I mean, the clock just kept running. He did get out of bounds. Wilcox was losing his mind over there.
Yeah, so Louisville elects to play zone coverage. DeJesus outflanks the zone coverage. That's clear cut, got out of bounds. There's going to be 12 seconds here on the clock.
And they keep that final timeout, which is big in case somehow you get sacked or tackled in bounds.
Yeah. Or if you just want to run the football here. I mean, you can run, you can throw. With that timeout, this is huge.
Under center. And now Louisville calls a timeout.
Timeout.
So JKS looked like they were going to run a play action kind of play and maybe throw towards defender getting off the field. I think Cal may have to use their final timeout here. We'll see. Play clock down to 0. They get it snapped. Rapheal straight ahead, and he is in for a touchdown. Wow. I mean, they barely got that play off. Rapheal barely got in. Clock was winding down. And Cal scores a touchdown to punctuate a 75-yard drive and take the lead.
I tell you what, for a football team that has really struggled running the football this year, for them to dial up the attitude play and say, listen, we are tougher than you. We are going to run this football in here on 3rd down. I mean, that's big time for an offense, especially in their confidence. Right guard, Tyson Ruffins, right tackle, Braden Miller, just an excellent job of winning the line of scrimmage.
Extra point up and good. Rapheal scored
better. They're getting off the field on third down, and this offense for the Bears, they're hitting on all cylinders. They have Louisville on the ropes here in the first half.
A long way to go.
Yep.
Louisville's been a really good second half team. They get the ball to start the second half. But we got a competitive game with a Cal team, as you said, across the country for a second straight week. Almost 3 touchdown underdogs coming into this game.
And a lot of fight out of them right now.
No kidding. Little squib kick along the turf. And it's going to be pitched back by Louisville. And that will wind the clock down to 1 second remaining. Avoid an upset and win in Iowa City, which is not easy to do. Brown with the carry. That'll be the final play of a spirited, competitive, and entertaining first half. And it's
his offense in position to have success. Without a doubt, this is the most explosive and the best that this offense has looked all year.
Cal will kick the ball deep, though, as we start the second half in Louisville. It's a big 30 minutes of football for the Cardinals, that's for sure. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler.
I think this is a really critical drive for the Cardinals. I'd like to see them lean on Brown in the backfield, who's averaging 11 yards per carry right now.
Keyjuan Brown had a really good first half. It's Duke Watson, though, who gets the carry to start the second half. He's going in the wrong direction, breaking tackles, but ultimately does lose a bunch of yards on the first play of the half. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, Dave, I asked Cal head coach Justin, hands on the football. They have to do something with it. So challenging DBs and all of his defensive players, punch the ball out, do whatever you can to create some momentum on that side.
Second down and very long. Thank you, Stormy. Lots of good info there. Now, exactly what Stormy was talking about. Zeke Massis intercepts Miller Moss. He got his hands on it. He secured the ball, and Cal comes up with a turnover on the second play of the second half.
Tell you what, Zeke Massis, he is just such a savvy corner. He's going to play a deep third here, and you're going to see he's supposed to kind of go inside with the defender, but he ends up falling off the route, makes a tremendous play, and this is just his spatial awareness, understanding route concepts. You see how he falls off of the receiver that he was initially in coverage with. This is one of the best cover corners in all of America. His instincts are outstanding, his leadership. He leads the ACC in pass breakups, and you see him there making a huge play here to start the second half.
That was a good little breakdown by you that showed what a really instinctive and good play that was. So Cal football right away. Handoff to Rapheal, who did some nice things in the first half. He gets stopped for basically no gain.
You know, and those are just... That's a situation that it is just so difficult to coach. Zeke Massis, a senior, he's played a ton of football between FIU and now his first year at Cal. He just has such a great feel for the game, great route recognition, and here's a massive opportunity for this Cal football team.
Sure feels like it after a touchdown in the very last seconds of the first half, an immediate turnover. Rapheal in the backfield. Sagapolutele throws. Pass caught. Missed tackle. Turn up field by Mark Hamper. And a good catch and run by him for a first down inside the 25.
And Justin Wilcox said it to Stormy at halftime. He said it's amazing what you can accomplish when you don't have the self-inflicted wounds. He said to us this week, we just need to do the basics. We need to block better, we need to tackle better, and we need to stop hurting ourselves. That's what they're doing right now. But on the flip side, Louisville, they're starting to build up some self-inflicted wounds.
Can we snap the ball cleanly? Can we block for 3 seconds? It was a pretty simple ask from the head coach. That one incomplete. DeJesus was out there. Some double coverage in the area. Second down.
You know, you look at the last month for Cal, and they lost their last 3 out of 4 games coming into this game tonight. And really, you look at the last 2. If it wasn't for those self-inflicted wounds against Virginia and Virginia Tech, they probably come away with wins. So that was the message from Justin Wilcox. Just don't beat ourselves.
Second and 10 for Cal. After the turnover deep in Louisville territory, DeJesus comes in motion. Sagapolutele is going to swing it out to him. And a great open field tackle for a loss. Just a beautiful play. That's Antonio Watts.
Watts, the do-it-all defender for the Louisville Cardinals. Keep an eye on number 9 getting right through that block. excellent job of recognizing what Cal's trying to do. This is a big-time player. He's created a lot of takeaways for his defense this year. About time that he shows up and makes an impact on the ball game tonight.
Loss of 3. Cal's in borderline field goal range. 3rd and 13. Sagapolutele, little play fake. Steps up, throws, and that one is caught. Wow, what a catch by DeJesus in traffic. Another ball caught by Jacob DeJesus. Gain of 14 and enough for a first down.
Well, just another great play designed by Brian Harsin. Here's DeJesus, and watch how he uses the man pick here to create a little bit of separation with Holloway. Beautiful play design, great throw and catch. I mean, really, that is pretty darn good coverage by Tayon Holloway. Once again, there's no defense for the perfect throw. JKS putting that football exactly where it needed to be.
It truly was. So they're going to review that play. And I guess trying to make sure that he actually caught the ball and controlled it all the way through the end of the catch. I thought he did, but they're going to stop play and confirm that. So we're going to step aside while the replay officials take over and take one last look. Brock, what do you think?
From every angle I've seen thus far, I think it's a catch.
Oh.
Yeah, and really good call by the officials. After a second look, the receiver, you have to have complete and continuous control throughout the process of the reception. You see the football, it touches the ground. DeJesus not able to bring it in for his young quarterback.
Well, instead of first down, Cal inside the 20. It's a 45-yard field goal try for Chase Meyer. Trying to turn the turnover into points. Snap, hold, kick on the way. And that kick is good. So Cal converts. Nice kick there from Chase Meyer. Here in great position, the overwhelming favorite to be one of the 2 participants in the ACC championship game.
Listen, if Wake is able to pull off this upset, just add it to the list of chaos in the ACC this year. Week in and week out, you never know what's going to happen in this conference.
And it's a big score for Louisville fans also. If the Cardinals can find a way to come from behind and get a win here tonight.
That is exactly where Cardinals fans are keeping their eyes.
Handoff and good effort by Keyjuan Brown, just had nowhere to go. And Zeke Massis, who last offensive play for Louisville came up with the interception. This time he makes the tackle.
And that's something that Justin Wilcox said to us this week when we met with him. He said, as great as a cover corner as Zeke Massis has been, the one thing I'm challenging him to do is to be a better tackler. Don't be afraid to get involved in trying to stop the run. You saw an excellent job of that right there on that last play.
So 2nd and 10 for Louisville. The offense having a little harder time here. Play fake. Moss in the pocket. Pass deflected, and he catches it again for the 2nd time in this game. Now this time he ends up losing yardage. So maybe it wasn't as good of an idea. He also took a massive hit. It's his 2nd reception off a tip pass.
And it's so tough because when you see the ball in the air as the quarterback, you want to go make a play, but really you just need to bat this football down, save the field position, because now you're looking at a 3rd and extra long. You really put your offense in a tough situation.
Aiden Kiana, who's having a really good year for Cal, got his hand on the ball. Now a quick hitter out into the right flat. Penalty flag thrown behind the play. Moss took a hit. The tackle a yard short of the first down. Let's see. Chris Bell, good catch and run. Was Moss hit late?
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 19. The 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Oh, what a big penalty that is against Cal.
That's on 19, Odera Okaka. And this is just unnecessary. You're going to see Moss clearly has the football out of his hand. You don't need to make that hit. You're getting ready to get off the field and give the football back to your offense. That is one of those self-inflicted wounds that have continued to hurt this Cal football team throughout the process of the year.
That's a huge penalty. It makes the play a big one. The yardage from the pass and run, and then the penalty yardage on top of it. Louisville all the way out to the 49-yard line. Handoff, Keyjuan Brown, left side. Good run into Cal territory down to the 45, maybe even the 44-yard line. So what a sequence there. The tip ball instead of maybe an interception or another Cal turnover. Louisville got another chance, and the penalty gives them a first down.
And great teams take advantage of those so-called gifts, if you will. You got to think about it. Louisville came out of halftime, turnover. They're able to hold Cal to a field goal. Kind of had some wonky plays here on this drive, but now you're driving and you just cross midfield.
Completes a pass. Moss does, right sideline. And the tackle out of bounds. 2 penalty flags thrown. Colin Lacey with the catch. In fact, maybe 3 flags came out. Was that a face mask?
Yeah, it certainly was.
Drew Polidor, the safety, made the tackle.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 2, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's 30 yards of penalty in what, the last 3 plays?
It's self-inflicted wounds, things that just can't happen. Drew Polidor. See, it's just poor technique at the end of the day. It's an unnecessary play. Polidor, transfer from Montana State, took over the starting safety role about a month ago when Isaiah Crosby went down with a season-ending injury. And you just hit the nail on the head right there, Flem. 30 yards and penalties. Just can't have it.
Louisville down close to the 20. Handoff Brown. Right side. Keyjuan Brown inside the 5. Tackled short of the goal line at the 1. Brown thought he got in. Spotted short. Gain of 21. How close do we think he got? Isaac Brown thought it was a touchdown.
Excellent job by the offensive line, winning at the point of attack.
Ooh,
boy,
close.
That's close. That's close. Does the knee go down before the ball crosses?
That could have been one where they stopped and took a look.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Louisville with the power formation. You got a fullback in there. Brown behind him. Moss tried to sneak it in, getting pushed from behind, but he had nowhere to go. I mean, barely made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and that's a long one. I don't really like the QB sneak call there, especially against this Cal defensive front. Their defensive tackles, I mean, they're massive. 320 pounds, 335 pounds, 340 pounds. It's going to be tough sledding inside.
So now Louisville will swap some personnel. Cal's defense answers. 2nd and goal from the 1.
You have Bell and Lacey at the top of your screen.
In motion, Moss is going to try to sneak it again. This time leaned forward. No signal yet. Now touchdown.
Down there on the goal line.
Maybe took a minute to make sure he got in. And now Ranvier, the place kicker, getting ready for the point after try. No problem for him. Up and good to tie this game at 20. 7:43 to go.
Been a big conversation. Can you get 2 or 3 teams? I don't know. A lot of carnage taking place right now in November.
And Louisville trying to avoid a big upset here at home. Almost 3 touchdown favorites. A tie game, 7:43 to go, 3rd quarter. Let's get a check in studio with Kevin Connors. All right, thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Trevor. Good update there. A little jet sweep action. First play from scrimmage for Cal, and good speed by their wideout, Karan Adams, who tried to sort of tightrope down the sideline. I think got stopped and pushed out a little bit short of a first down by Caleb Perry.
Boy, if I'm Brian Harsin, Karan Adams is somebody I'm going to find a way to get the football to more. He has not had many touches coming into this football game, but the transfer from South Dakota, you saw it on that last play, he can flat fly.
First carry for anybody other than Kendrick Rapheal in the whole game for Cal. Sagapolutele, their outstanding young quarterback, tried to shovel it to Rapheal, incomplete. A little improv play, but it came up short. So now it's third down. If you're just joining us, if you're watching that Alabama game that's now at halftime, this young man has played some great football.
He's been excellent, nearly perfect tonight, but what you just saw in that last play, Ron English and his defense starting to affect the game with the quarterback, getting pressure on him. That defensive line starting to tee off. They need to make more plays like that and get the young quarterback uncomfortable.
Big play here on both sides. Louisville's defense looking for a stop. Play fake. Sagapolutele trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. He finds Grizel open for a first down, then gets bent backwards at the end of that play. That looked awkward, but first and 10 Cal.
Boy, for a makeshift offensive line, this is an offensive line that has really struggled all year long. This is a new starting lineup. The time that they give JKS to throw that football on third down, that is big time. Without that type of protection, JKS is not able to deliver. Credit that offensive front.
Reworked, reorganized, and they've played well tonight for Cal. First and 10 Bears outside their own 40. Rapheal in the backfield, handed off to him, and he'll get to the 45, maybe the 46. Short gain on first down. Transferred inside the conference, of course, went from NC State to Berkeley. So not like he just sort of walked next door and transferred, but
no, and he's been excellent and really didn't start the year as the starting running back. LJ Johnson Jr., who's injured right now, really got the nod in week 1, but Rapheal, someone who just kept working at it, got more opportunities, and he's put together a very nice season.
He sprints out wide left on second down. Sagapolutele across the middle to Jesus with a catch, and this time I think he held on. It was a big play last time Cal had the ball where he could not secure a catch. First down Cal.
Having a big time game and such a great talent, but it's the play design. You push and catch on the slant route.
Tie game, Cal on the move, and now flags thrown. For the Bears, the penalties have started to pop up here.
Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty.
That's Braden Miller.
Braden Miller, who's fallen back into a reserve role, but he's back into the starting lineup tonight at right tackle. Just getting a little bit of a head start here. You have to wonder if JKS was trying to work a little bit of a hard count. Nevertheless, can't go backwards on first and 10.
6 Cal penalties for 50 yards. What, 35 of those penalty yards in the last 2 minutes of gameplay?
I was going to say it was a really clean first half for the Bears. All of that is in the third quarter.
First and 15. Rapheal gets the carry straight ahead, gets that penalty yardage back, and then some. Nice run for Rapheal. 7 more yards on the ground. #1 player in college football in terms of percentage of rushing yards for his team. He's got a bigger percentage of rush yards for Cal than any other single running back in the country.
Well, he has really been the bell cow. Cal came into the season with 3 running backs they really liked. Kendrick Rapheal has completely taken that position over.
Sagapolutele across the middle. That one was caught. DeJesus again, contested catch. TJ Quinn with the tackle inside the Louisville 40 to set up a third down and about 3.
Once again, Brian Harsin taking advantage of matchups. Anytime you can get DeJesus matched up on a linebacker like you just had, advantage Cal. Great job overcoming the penalty on first and down to make this a third and manageable. Don't be surprised if they keep the ball on the ground because it's 4-down territory.
And Cal moves again. Another false start for the Cal offense. And it is loud here at Louisville.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
You just can't have it in these situations. It's 3rd and 3. It's a tie ball game. This is a critical moment in the game. JKS is asking for the football. He claps. But Bastian Swinney, who's in at center for the first time this year, doesn't snap the football. They have to communicate and get on the same page.
And now you bring a whole different personnel group in. It was 3rd and 3. Now it's 3rd and 8. Outside of field goal range. That was a bad time for a penalty. Sagapolutele into traffic, into Jesus, went up and snatched it. Wow, what a catch by DeJesus. And we'll see if he secured that one. 21 yards if it stands.
Tell you what, Sagapolutele, this kid is just unbelievable. That is a big league throw. He's just 19 years old, true freshman quarterback. He's unbelievable. I don't know what else to say. He reminds me of like a young left-handed Dan Marino. I mean, this kid, his accuracy down the field is second to none.
There might not be a quarterback in the country who more consistently puts the ball exactly where it needs to be in those kind of tight window spots than this guy. DeJesus throws it back to Sagapolutele, who throws it forward for a first down. Cal's breaking out all the trick plays tonight inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
Brian Harsin digging into his bag of tricks. Finding Landon Morris. I love it. DeJesus, who would have thought he could throw a football? Really involved in the offense tonight.
It's his 3rd throw.
I know, it's unbelievable. So fun.
1st and goal, Cal. Tie game, late 3rd quarter. DeJesus gets shoved out of bounds. Quick catch and turn upfield. I mean, Cal is breaking out all the stops.
I mean, they really are. And like you said, Flem, this is DeJesus. This is the 3rd time the wide receiver has thrown the football in this game. Landon Morris able to sneak out the back door, gets behind the defense. Cal laying it all. They're pushing all their chips. They're pulling all their tricks tonight. Brian Harsin calling a really great game.
And technically, it won't go down as an actual pass because it was a backwards pass, but still, Rapheal straight ahead run on 2nd and goal. Down inside the 5, trying to lean forward and get down to the 2. Now this is where the head coach has some decisions to make. You got
to get the quarterback outside the pocket.
Under center. He is going to pitch it to Rapheal, who gets upended. What a play by Tayon Holloway. Tripped him up and he lost yardage on the play. We'll see if that influences the decision here. No indication from the Cal sideline. The kicker's not coming on the field.
Keep an eye on 25 right side of your screen. Does an excellent job avoiding the block, getting in the backfield, tripping up the back. And you know what? I don't mind this call by Justin Wilcox. When you're 5-4 on the year, you've lost 3 out of your last 4. You have the number 15 team in the nation on the ropes. I like the aggressive call. Jacob DeJesus is at the top of your screen.
4th and goal, and they moved again. That's the 3rd time on this drive.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And now the kicker's going to jog out there.
And you know what? I don't put this on the players. I just think this stadium right now is too loud to use the clap as your silent cadence. I love when a quarterback is simply able to lift his leg and the center looks between his legs, or you get the tap from the guard. It just kind of takes the crowd noise out. It is clear that the Cal offense cannot hear the clap by JKS right now.
Chase Meyer from 26 yards to put Cal back ahead. Kick was almost blocked, and somehow it made it through. Holloway almost got there and blocked it.
Has been the entire offense. Credit Rapheal, the running back. He's having a nice night. But everything goes through this true freshman quarterback. His teammates need to help him out. They need to stop the self-inflicted wounds with the penalties.
Good coverage against a good return man. Louisville gets the ball back down 3. Lots going. It's too bad. I think everybody would have liked to have seen Navy's having a good year. Blake Horvath has been awesome, but without him, Navy's just a different team. Final play, perhaps, of the 3rd quarter. Duke Watson would win this game. He got, by the computers, maybe a 40% chance of getting there. Lose down to 10%. Miller Moss, first play of the drive for Louisville, running a long way side to side, didn't go down, and ends up taking a big hit, and he's down on the sidelines.
There's Drew Polidor, the safety, coming up. Laying the wood on Miller Moss out by the sideline. Number 2, Luke Ferrelli getting involved as well.
He sort of sandwiched Moss between himself and his teammate Polidor. So 3rd and 1 here for the Cardinals. Do you understand why Moss is trying to put his body on the line? This is a huge game. Louisville, 15th ranked team in the country, at home. 3 touchdown favorites over Cal, and they're down 3 as we enter the 4th quarter. Watson, play fake to him. Moss is going over the top, and he's got his man caught. 1st down and much more. Nate Kariski. They went play action on 3rd and short and had a man wide open.
I love it. What do you do on 3rd and short? Everyone's thinking run. You're going to go hard play action, and you're going to sneak your tight end. Watch the eyes from the defenders. They all go into the backfield. It's 3rd and 1. They're thinking downhill run by Louisville. Excellent play call by Jeff Brom. Reverse psychology. When you think run, go hard play action. Hit him over the top. Great throw and catch.
37 yards. 1st down Cardinals into Cal territory inside the 40. Moss in the pockets going over the top along the left sideline. Contact, throw out of bounds, no flags. Fans don't like it. Colin Lacey the intended target. Paco Austin had the coverage.
Yeah, a lot of contact down the field, some good hand fighting, but I just think ultimately it was an uncatchable pass. And the officials are going to let them play outside. Ball's uncatchable. Ball's uncatchable.
Not to him.
Says it's holding, Dad. Why didn't they throw that flag?
They teach him young. Yell at the officials as loud as you can. 2nd and 10. Handoff left side. Watson. Nice burst from him. Duke Watson. That looked like the guy who led the country in yards per carry last year. 9-yard gain.
Well, this is clinic tape for an offensive line. Watch the double team that you get right here. Watch how they move the point of attack. This is a thing of beauty. You get 2 double teams by the Louisville offensive line, just completely wash away that defensive front by Cal.
So now 3rd and short, and Louisville gets enough to convert the 1st down with Watson again. And they love him here. You hear all the Duke chants every time he touches the ball.
Well, he's such a dynamic player, and unfortunately for this fan base, he's been hurt a lot of the year. Duke Watson, just a sophomore, you have to remember a season ago, was the nation's leader. He averaged 8.9 yards per carry. He can take any football the distance, similar to Isaac Brown, who's also out tonight with an injury. This is a really dangerous backfield for the Cardinals.
7th play of the drive. Watson again, not this time. Kiana Ina just swallowed him up. No gain. Big number 47 started his career at Notre Dame. Trying to hold Louisville to a field goal try here. Keyjuan Brown back in the game. Moss in the pocket, throws, and it is caught or no. Out of bounds, incomplete. Collins looked like he secured it along that far sideline, but no catch.
Well, I thought this was a pretty good throw by Miller Moss. Great effort trying to hit his wide receiver with the back shoulder. I think he's just bobbling the football as his leg hits the white line.
If you catch it clean right away, that's going to be in bounds.
Just kind of loses his balance, falls out of bounds. Excellent throw. Give a lot of credit to the DBs for Cal. Coming into the game, this was a matchup we were excited to watch. Cal has 2 excellent corners, and we know the talent that Louisville has at the wide receiver position.
They're going to stop play, though, and review. The fans here saw it up on the big board and thought, no, that's a catch. And the officials are going to review. Catch or no catch. There was definitely a bobble. Did he secure the ball? Still in bounds? They're going to review as we go to break. One quick look. Still didn't have it. I don't think that's a catch.
After review, the incomplete pass is upheld. 3rd down.
It really is, and we haven't heard Chris Bell lately. He's right here. See if he can make a play on 3rd down.
They handed off to Brown, who made one man miss and then got tackled, trying to take Cal by surprise. And the Bears, even though Keyjuan Brown did a good job by making the first tackler miss, they were not really surprised. Field goal team comes out there. That was interesting.
Yeah, that call by Jeff Brom really surprises me.
Officials timeout on the field for injury.
There's a Cal player down on the field. Maybe the safety Cam Sidney. Looks like Cam Sidney. They're thin in the secondary with some injuries, and he is hurting bad. .11:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Cal's defense, big stop, a lot of enthusiasm running off the field, and then they turn around and see Cam Sidney down.
Really one of those leaders on the back end. He's a guy who's been around the program for 4 years now. He's had to wait his turn to be a starter behind some NFL talent, making the most of his opportunity this season. See number 20.
Yeah, looked like that right leg got pinned under, even if it was just for a second. A lot of force on the knee, on the ankle. So he's sitting up now. He's going to get up, try to put a little weight on that right leg. He wants a minute to see if he can walk off on his own power. Barely. Well, hopefully he's all right. Well, Friday night over on the ACC network, we'll have a college basketball doubleheader for you starting at 7 Eastern. Number 6 Duke heading to, well, they're going to host Indiana State. And then number 25 North Carolina coming off that great win against Kansas. What a win at 9 Eastern at home against NC Central. That's Friday on the ACC network. All right, field goal try, looking to tie the game from 39 yards out. Cooper Ranvier, kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Cardinals with a 10. See the river?
I think it's worth checking off if you come to Louisville.
I think so. Especially if you get one of those old fashions. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni. Really good game here in the state of Kentucky. 23-23, 11 minutes to go. Kickoff through the end zone. Cal's offense comes back on the field.
And this Jaron-Keawe Sagapolutele from the get-go tonight. This one to Karan Adams down the field. Little half roll. Hits Adams, who just has absolute jetpack on him. Just a speedster down the field. Then later on, watch all the eye candy that goes out to the flat. You have a tight end, you have a running back. It gets the Cardinals' eyes in the backfield. It allows De Jesus to get behind the secondary. And I tell you what, there's just 2 examples, but there's about 7 or 8 plays where JKS in this offense, they've just been perfect tonight.
Here he goes again, trying for a back shoulder throw, incomplete. Cal wanted a flag, but no penalty flag thrown. It's second down.
And those explosive plays, that was really a big key for this Bears football team coming into the game. They've really struggled at creating chunk plays down the field coming into tonight. No problems. Brian Harsin put together an excellent game plan, and JKS has been spot on.
But now 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Last drive had a hard time communicating. Bunch of penalties before the snap. Get it snapped cleanly here. De Jesus, almost a backward pass, turned it upfield along the sideline, but got shoved out of bounds and only got maybe a yard.
De Jesus having a career night. That's his 14th catch of the ball game. Those little quick swing screens, that's just an extension of the run game for Cal. Let's get the football out to the perimeter. Let's give it to one of our best guys in space and see what he can do with it. But here we go at 3rd and 9. I expect Louisville to pin their ears back and come after the young quarterback.
Here they come. Sagapolutele on the run. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit the tight end Morris. Louisville's defense, that's a big stand. They forced the 3 and out.
Well, I really like Ron English, what he does here defensively. He's going to heat up the young quarterback. Keep your eye right here. This extra pressure gets JKS off his spot. He's not able to deliver the football down the field. You see the pocket collapse. And that's a defensive coordinator dialing up pressure at the right time and getting the football back to his offense.
Brooke Honore, only the second 3 and out of the game for Cal. They haven't punted much. They've had a really good offensive night. Gets the punt off and angles that to the sideline, which is not a bad idea with Colin Lacey as the dangerous return man. So now the Louisville offense back on the field, and without Isaac Brown, their top playmaker in the backfield, Keyjuan Brown, has been excellent.
He really has, and really making the most of his opportunity to be running back #1, first time ever in his career. And he's been excellent tonight. 12 carries, 121 yards, averaging over 10 yards per carry. And just look at also what the offensive line has done for him. As a running back, you can never do it all on your own. I think that front five up front, the tight ends, they've been excellent with their run blocking schemes. And if Louisville's going to get the win tonight, they need more Brown here in the fourth quarter.
Brown runs. Brown, tough running outside the 45 to the 46. Another good rush for the sophomore Keyjuan Brown. Gain of 6 on first down. There just aren't that many teams. Isaac Brown has been arguably the best big play running back in all of college football. He's out. He's not just out tonight. He's going to miss a few weeks. There's Isaac. And Keyjuan Brown has just been excellent.
Isaac Brown, Keyjuan Brown, Duke Watson. I mean, it's really a three-headed monster. Pick your poison.
That's a lot of talent in the backfield for Louisville. Keyjuan Brown gets it again. Stacked up, penalty flag thrown, though. So as it stands, that's a first down. That could be a big one against Louisville. We'll see.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Trevante Sylvester, the left tackle.
Left tackle, Trevante Sylvester. You're going to see working inside, just kind of gets his hands a little bit outside the frame. And that's what the official saw. Anytime an offensive lineman doesn't have his hands on the defender's chest and he kind of gets him out wide around the shoulders, that's when you see those flags fly.
I mean, there wasn't a ton there, but I think you're right. That defender's body starts to turn.
I agree. I think it looked worse to the official than it really was.
So second down and 14 instead of first and 10. Play fake to Brown. Moss in the pocket trying to step up, and he's not going to get away. TJ Bush sacks him back inside the 30. Another loss on that play. A loss of 6.
Well, just a really good job of collapsing this pocket by the Cal defensive front. You're going to see good push by the defensive tackles. Then the defensive ends, they rush to the level that Miller Moss drops to. Then they cage him in and they start to squeeze the pocket. Really good discipline by that defensive front.
I mean, before that penalty, it was going to be first down across midfield at the Cal 48. Now it's third down and 21 back inside their own 30. Swing it out left side. And one missed tackle. Good effort by Colin Lacey, but just had too far to go on third and 21, and the Cal defense holds.
And both teams tonight have had moments of self-inflicted wounds that have killed drives, but anytime you get an offensive holding and then you follow that up with a sack, you just can't have it. And now the football is coming back to Cal.
Clock rolling. We're down to 8 minutes to go in this game. First punt for Louisville since the first quarter. I mean, both offenses have been high functioning tonight. DeJesus having a huge game as a receiver. Back trying to get an opportunity as a returner, but a nice high punt. Fair catch made at the 19-yard line. 7:46 to go. Cal's offense out there. Kendrick Rapheal made the first man miss. Nice tough run for a gain of 4. Let's go down on the field to Stormy.
Well, Dave, Jaron-Keawe Sagapolutele typically on the sideline is pretty reserved and workmanlike. He comes off the field, sits in, looks on the iPad, talks to Brian Harsin. He has been pretty fiery this quarter. He went to his teammates and said, we know what we got to do right here. He said, show them who we are. They're not prepared when we play like we show who we are.
Grown up before everybody's eyes. Another carry. So Cal so pass heavy all game. Back-to-back runs and positive runs, but now you're faced with a third down right away.
Yeah, great report by Stormy. You gotta love the vocal leadership by the true freshman quarterback, but here's a pivotal third down play here midway through the fourth quarter. Can Ron English's defense get off the field and protect this home field environment? We'll see if they bring pressure here on the true freshman quarterback.
Third and a long 2 for the Bears. Sagapolutele with time. He throws incomplete. It went right through the hands of Mark Hamper. I mean, it had a lot of mustard on that pass, but Hamper had a chance to catch it and did not.
Well, it was certainly a fastball. You're right about that. A lot of heat on that. Would have been a tough catch by Hamper, but he did have opportunity. I want you to see the coverage by the Cardinals here. Where's JKS supposed to go with this football? I mean, every wide receiver is just wired up. Great job in man coverage by Louisville. And I love that call by Ron English. It's 3rd and short, backs against the wall. We're going to play man coverage and get after it. Great stop by Louisville.
Back-to-back punts for Cal. I think that pass ended up hitting Hamper in the face mask. Ball bouncing on the turf, and the Bears will down it. And it's rolling back inside the 25, but I think it'll be spotted a little forwards of that. So the Louisville off the Red Raiders because they dominated. Undefeated BYU, undefeated no more. Handoff on 1st down, and Duke Watson with a tough run. He's not just all speed. I mean, that could have been a loss. Instead, he ends up getting 4, close to 5 yards on 1st down.
Just an excellent effort by Duke Watson. Luke Farrelly is there to make the tackle for a loss, or if anything, just no gain. But Duke Watson would not be denied. Great individual effort and turns what was going to be a negative play into a 5-yard gain.
2nd and 5 for Louisville. Under 6 minutes to go. I mean, even any points for the Cardinals at this point would put them in a great position. Miller Moss in the pocket, throws middle, and that pass caught with good coverage. Farrelly was all over the tight end, and the tackle made immediately stopped Kariski about a yard short.
Really strong hands by Kariski. Luke Farrelly was all over him, like you said. Good job bringing in that football to make a 3rd and 1.
The ball spotted inside that yard marker. So this has been a spot we've seen Louisville sneak it a couple times in 3rd or 4th and a half a yard. We'll see. Moss is coming under center. Moss will try to sneak it and went right side. I think he got there. That should be enough for the 1st down.
Jeff Brom's used that attitude play a couple times tonight. He really likes going to his QB sneak. Miller Moss not afraid to stick his helmet in there and pick up those tough yards.
Just an update, down under 3 minutes to go over on ESPN. Undefeated in conference play, Virginia down by a touchdown late at home without their starting quarterback on the field. Another deflection. What is that, the 4th one of the game for the Cal D-line?
We're doing a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes, getting their hands up when he goes to throw the football. But I tell you what, Flem, you want to get this crowd fired up in the stadium, flash that Wake Forest score right now.
I mean, it's huge. You're exactly right. If Virginia loses that game, all the percentages for Louisville go way up in terms of making the conference championship, maybe making the playoff. Their only loss of the year came on this field to Virginia, a game that Louisville statistically really dominated. Virginia still found a way. 2nd down, and the pass, what a hit immediately after the catch. Open field tackle. Collins held onto the ball. Luke Farrelly there to put the tackle on.
This is a really good methodical drive by Louisville. They're chewing up some clock. They're picking up 1st downs. But once again, they're faced with another critical 3rd down. Who on the Cal defense can step up and make a play? Normally it's been Cade Uluwave, but he is out tonight with an injury. Who can step up in that front 7 and make a game-changing play for Cal, who's had so much heartbreak the last couple weeks?
Watson in the backfield. 3rd and 7 for Louisville. Moss steps up, now trying to scramble. Moss will throw, and the pass is incomplete. He hit the defender in his back. Paco Austin was there with the coverage. Moss took a hit. It's 4th down.
That was a great job of Miller Moss keeping the play alive when the pocket broke down, got outside the pocket. Keep an eye at the top of your screen. That's the matchup that Miller Moss is trying to work. Paco Austin not giving up on the play. He slips. Football hits him right in the back. And what a stop by the Cal Bears to get the football back to their offense with under 4 minutes to go.
So we had no punts for a huge chunk of this game. Now the teams are just punting it back and forth to one another. And that's a beautiful punt. And I mean great. About as good as you can do. What a job by Dave Chapeau. who angled that one inside the 5-yard line, 49 yards plus, and no return. Cal's pinned deep.
What a punt by David Chapeau is right. You couldn't have dropped it off in a better location. That's the exact play the Louisville team needed. And now you have the Cal offense backed up, noisy part of the stadium. Critical moment in the game. As good as JKS has been tonight for this Cal offense, can he put together a drive with his back against the wall?
That was just a huge special teams play. 3:36 to go. And a handoff to give Cal some breathing room. Rapheal straight ahead. He gets outside the 5, got 5 yards on first down.
I tell you what, this offensive line is a bit of a makeshift unit. You have some new pieces in there. It's a new starting 5 tonight for the first time. I really think they played their tails off, and Kendrick Rapheal has ran super hard and gotten a lot of really tough yards in between the tackles.
2nd and 5 Bears. Clock rolling. Tie game, 4th quarter. Rapheal in motion. They fake it to him. Sagapolutele, left sideline. DeJesus makes a catch and goes out of bounds. Another one of those back shoulder throws delivered perfectly.
I tell you what, this true freshman is just truly unbelievable. The location of the throw, once again, it's the accuracy down the field, but then when you combine that with the poise, you heard it coming through your TV. The crowd is full throat. They're on their feet. He's backed up. You would never know that this is a 19-year-old true freshman delivering big time in the game's biggest moment.
24 yards, 1st and 10 Cal. Under center, Sagapolutele. Play fake. Pressure comes. Retreating and throws incomplete. Ball knocked away. It'll be 2nd down and 10, back down to Stormy.
And all that Brock has said about JKS is exactly why Justin Wilcox told us he could say with some conviction he wouldn't trade his guy for anyone. Said he's never been more convinced of a young quarterback than him, the way he sees the game, the accuracy. He does things you just can't teach repeatedly.
And that is certainly true. I mean, this kid is special. He is a natural. And to think that he is just a true freshman putting his team on his shoulders, boy, is it unbelievable to watch.
He'll throw that one out quickly to the right side. Catch and turn for Jordan King, but good open field tackle. D'Angelo Hutchinson is having a nice game. It's 3rd down.
I expect wrong English here. I think Cal's going to let this thing go down to the 2-minute timeout. We're going to have a big 3rd down when we come back.
No kidding. Game on the line here in Louisville. 15th ranked Cardinals tied with Cal. 2-minute timeout. All right. We'll look forward to that after the end of what's been a really good game and a huge play here. 2 minutes to go. Tie game. Cal ball on their side of the field. 3rd and 7.
DeJesus right here, 15 catches on the night. He's been the go-to guy all ball game.
And now what? They're going to stop things.
Timeout, Louisville. Their first
So
timeout.
Louisville uses one of their 3 timeouts, which is interesting. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, they didn't love the look, so they use it.
Wonder, were they unorganized, or did they want to kind of play the chess game and see what Cal was doing? I think Ron English's defense has had his best tonight when they play man coverage and bring pressure on the quarterback.
Cal kind of shifts the formation. There's DeJesus. Sagapolutele, pressure comes, gets rid of it. The turn upfield and the tackle short. Good defense by Louisville. Hamper with the catch, but he got tackled well short. And I would think Cal has no choice. They got to punt the ball back.
I love that Ron English brought an all-out pressure. He forced JKS to get the football in his hand on the tunnel screen, and then give a lot of credit to this Cardinals defense rallying to make the tackle. You see great hustle there by 50, Clev Lubin, to get the ball carrier on the ground and force the 4th down.
Interesting too here, isn't it, Brock, that Louisville's not using a timeout. So Cal, I think, is going to be content to let that clock wind down as much as possible. And Louisville offense should have plenty of time. That punt angled toward the sideline and out of bounds around the 25-yard line. So that's where the Louisville offense will take over. And
this is punches, and we'll see what happens down the stretch.
Miller Moss going to throw, and Bell dropped it. Chris Bell, their #1 playmaker, on a slant middle of the field, and he had a chance to make that play.
He has been so sure-handed all season long. We really haven't called his name out here in the second half tonight, and that was an opportunity for him to make a big-time play for his offense.
The second half, only 1 catch for one of the top playmakers in the country. Going up against some really good DBs. Cal's done a good job. 2nd and 10 Louisville. Clock stops. 1:05 to go. Cal has all 3 of their timeouts. Moss is going to throw a screen. Set up. Cal makes the open field tackle around the 30. Keyjuan Brown. And now Cal looks like they're going to use a timeout with 3rd down.
Brown. The question is, who's going to make the game-changing play late?
3rd and 5 out of the Cal timeout. Brown in the backfield. Miller Moss throws across the middle. Incomplete. Too high. Trying to hit Lacey. And so the Cal defense gets a stop. 53 seconds to go. Cal has 2 timeouts, and they're going to get the ball back.
What a huge opportunity, and it was really just a missed throw by Moss. He had his wide receiver Lacey over the middle of the field. It was man coverage. He did a great job of winning. It was going to be a tight throw, but the ball was just a bit too high.
And how about Cal? They put 2 different return men back, I think trying to avoid a sideline angled punt that bounces on the turf. Sagapolutele waiting for another opportunity. You got both Grizel and DeJesus back to return, and an end-over-end wobbly punt, and not a good one. Oh my goodness. It's rolling in Louisville's favor, but it's going to be downed. They're going to wait. The clock will stop with 40 seconds left. Only 31 yards on the punt, and Cal's going to have it needing what, 25 yards to be in borderline field goal range.
What an opportunity for this Cal offense here. Jaron-Keawe Sagapolutele, what he's done this season as a true freshman, it truly has been historic when you look at ACC records, college football, what he's done. But think about what this opportunity is. 40 seconds, 2 timeouts. You need to get to about the 35, 40-yard line to feel decent about a field goal. And you have an opportunity here tonight to knock off the #15 team in the country.
Virginia has just lost. Wow. First conference loss for the Cavs. Sagapolutele gets wrestled, and he's going down. The Louisville defense comes up with a huge sack. Wesley Bailey got there, and now Cal has to burn one of those 2 timeouts, and they're farther away from field goal range.
Well, this is Bailey working on the left tackle, Nick Morrow, who was the day 1 starter for Cal, and then kind of got sent to the bench for a little bit for Frederick Williams, but back in the starting lineup. This is just pure effort by Wesley Bailey, running the hoop, winning with speed and power. And that's the game-changing play Louisville desperately needed.
That's a bad time for your left tackle to just get blown by, but you got to give Bailey a lot of credit for that. So Cal now just 1 timeout, down to 35 seconds, and it's 2nd and 16. And after the punt, you're thinking, man, Chase Meyer, he may have a chance to win this game. Now Cal is in a more precarious position.
Well, Cal had such a great opportunity there, and we've given their offensive line a ton of credit tonight. This is the first time that those 5 have started a game together. But right there, Wesley Bailey coming up with the big-time play when his football team desperately needed it.
And you saw the 2 kickers. Myers, the primary kicker, but his career long is 45 yards. Murray's got more range in case they needed one, assuming he's healthy. The pass batted at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. And Sagapolutele got knocked backwards. Rene Conga got his hands up there.
Well, this defensive line, they have their ears pinned back, and they are getting after this offensive line for Cal. And now Cal, you mentioned it a minute ago, they had great field position, but then you take the sack, the batted ball with 32 seconds here. It'll be interesting to see if Justin Wilcox tries to keep his foot on the gas or if he plays a little more conservative and tries to get this game to overtime.
Your guy might be the best deep ball thrower in the country. Let him sling one down there, if you're asking me. Now timeout.
Timeout.
Louisville.
Their second timeout of the half. It's 30 seconds.
On the defensive side, Sagapolutele still shaking out. So the stakes are even higher for Louisville now with that Virginia loss. 3rd and 16 for Cal. 32 seconds to go.
If you're going to throw the football, I'm looking at Tron Grizel. He's 6'4". He's at the bottom of your screen.
Sagapolutele back to pass. Across the middle, incomplete. Some contact, no flag to Jesus, the intended receiver. The Cal bench just erupted. 29 seconds to go. And 4th and long, Cal will have to punt.
I think the Cal bench thought the defender got to DeJesus just a tad early.
What do we think?
I mean, I just give Justin Wilcox credit putting the game in the hands of his true freshman quarterback. I think it's a pretty good no call.
I do too. So now the special teams execution is huge. A punt toward the sideline and not a good one. Oh my goodness. Honore. Let's see where they spot this. They're still running. Still running.
Oh my.
Still running.
Oh my.
To midfield.
Oh my.
With 23 seconds left and a kicker who's got huge range. That's an 18-yard punt.
In the Wilcox era, special teams has hurt him so many times. It comes up once again. And for Louisville, you're about 10 yards away from being in field goal range and having an opportunity to win the game.
That could lose the game for Cal right there. About the only thing that you sort of could dream up that could lose the game. That's an 18-yard punt. Louisville's at midfield on 1st down. Miller Moss scrambling. Miller Moss gets sacked. The only thing that Louisville couldn't have happen is a sack. And now the Cardinals have to use their final timeout.
I mean, credit the Cal defensive front, but this is a situation. Miller Moss has played too much football. He needs to understand he has a route outside. He can get this football out of his hand, prevent the sack, and get this drive started. Just needs to pull the trigger. You have to wonder if he wasn't able to see his wide receiver through that offensive line.
And remember, the Cardinals used 2 timeouts on defense, not to stop the clock and save time, but because they wanted to get more organized or weren't organized or whatever it was. So instead of maybe at least having 1 remaining, they have no timeouts, only 16 seconds. Well, by the way, at the end of the play, Cal, I think, got away with one.
They sure did. That's definitely a face mask on Kiana Ina. And now if you're Louisville in this situation, no timeouts. So you either have to work the sidelines or you have to throw the football beyond the line to gain so the clock can stop and you have time to spike it.
16 seconds left. Moss in the pocket. It's going to throw short. And Lacey turns it upfield, gets tackled. Louisville running out of time. Down to 6 seconds, down to 5 seconds. Can they get a play clocked? Down to 1? I don't know. The clock operator stopped it with 1 second.
I just don't understand that play call. It's 16 seconds. You know you can't work short of the line to gain. You can't work the middle of the field unless you throw it beyond the sticks where the clock stops. Now your only hope is a Hail Mary.
It's 4th down because you clocked it, so you lose that down. And you're right. I mean, all you can do is just heave one up. Otherwise, this game's going to overtime, which, considering the way it's been played, feels appropriate.
Yes, it does.
But, man, Louisville had an unbelievable opportunity after that punt.
Both teams, both offenses.
You're right. Moss scrambling, and he'll go down. Incomplete. That's the final play of regulation. Both defenses started to take control of this game in the 4th quarter and late. The offenses really were rolling before then. Moss is going to go under center. I formation. He'll hand it off. Brown straight ahead run. Brown tried to get away and could not. But a nice 1st down run, gain of 8, maybe 9.
Just an excellent job by the right side, 140 yards.
The pass game hasn't been that efficient for Louisville. The ground game has been. 2nd and 1. They'll give it to Brown again. Right side, penalty flag thrown, though. Now that is a big penalty if it's against the Cardinals. Cal thinks it is. Instead of first down Louisville, this one could be going back.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist. Offense number 85. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Even worse, 15 yards.
Well, this is a really, really tough call because Kariski's hit with it. And watch him here from his fullback position. Watch how he goes and chops low. You are on the initial line charge allowed to hit a defender from the front below the knees. I mean, this is a really questionable gray area. I probably would not have thrown a flag in that situation because Kariski is coming straight downhill and hitting the defender from the front.
Wow, what a huge call that is. So now it's 2nd and 16. Play fake for Miller Moss. In the pocket, gets hit, and the pass is incomplete. He takes another hit from T.J. Bush. He had time there and got hit late. 3rd and 16.
He had plenty of time, but T.J. Bush at the top of your screen, just relentless effort working on the left tackle, Sylvester. And you said it, Flem, just a couple plays ago. It's a football game filled with big-time offensive plays, explosive plays, great passing. But really, in this second half of the fourth quarter and now overtime, it's the defenses that are taking over.
3rd and 16 for Louisville with Brown next to Moss in the backfield from the shotgun. 4-man rush. Moss throws across the middle, knocked away, incomplete. Incomplete. It's 4th and long. And Louisville has a lot of faith in their field goal game. They're going to need it here. This will be a long one for overtime.
I tell you what, Paco.
Possession of the first overtime. The hold, the kick on the way. Again, Ranvier, man, is he good. With plenty of distance to spare. Right through the uprights. I mean, that's huge. If he
strikes first in overtime.
So it's a huge 3 points for Louisville before Cal starts their first overtime. Quick check in studio with Kevin. Well, now Cal, field goal to send it to a second overtime. Touchdown wins the game for the Bears in what would be a huge upset. Sagapolutele starts the overtime possession for Cal in the shotgun. 1st and 10. Looking to throw, and that one, man, DeJesus stretched out, and the pass hit the turf, incomplete. Trying to make a one-handed grab, incomplete.
Career night for Jacob DeJesus. 15 catches, 155 yards. He's even thrown a couple passes. Brian Harsin has done an excellent job tonight putting his playmakers in position to have success.
But he and Cal, they need some yardage here. Their field goal unit not as reliable. Sagapolutele swings it out, and Rapheal juggles, catches it out of the air, makes a man miss, and goes down the sideline. Oh, my goodness. Some moments of, I'm sure, extreme nervousness for Cal, and then he turned it upfield and got 7 yards.
Unbelievable play. Great throw by JKS. Even better block by the tight end, Jeffrey Johnson. And then the concentration of Rapheal to bring the football in and then go get some positive yards to make this a 3rd and 2. What a crazy play.
Crazy. Antonio Watts had a chance to tackle him. Instead, the 7-yard gain. It's 3rd down. Under center. Play fake. Rolling left. Dumping it short. Caught by Rapheal. Makes a man miss. Stumbles inside the 10. Down to the 8 where it's going to be 1st and goal Cal. 8 yards away from an overtime win.
Great play call by Brian Harsin. You're going to get your running back out to the flat, but you're going to use the guy that you've been using all game as your go-to guy as a decoy, bringing him back this way. It causes the defense to hesitate. Great play call by Harsin.
Indeed it was. 1st and goal. And the handoff left side, just not a lot of room there. A yard, maybe 2 for the Bears. Louisville's already kicking down. Louisville substituting. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. Handoff, Rapheal inside the 5, down to the 4. So 2 straight runs on 1st and goal from the 8. And now it's 3rd down and goal from about the 4.
You're down your top tight end, Mason Minnie. He's out of the game with an injury, so you can't really rely on that big body down low. Jacob DeJesus just at 5'7", 170 pounds. Maybe you try to get the football out to the perimeter with him.
Here we go.
But if I'm Louisville, I'm bringing all-out pressure here.
Sagapolutele under center, 3rd and goal, pitches it, pitches back to Jesus. He's looking to throw again. DeJesus now runs. DeJesus gets tackled inside the 5. Some version of the Berkeley special for Cal, and in overtime. And now Louisville's going to use its timeout. So they wanted to look at what Cal would show. If you're 4th down in overtime. Sagapolutele takes a snap, looking to the end zone, fires, caught, touchdown! DeJesus! And it's a walk-off win for Cal on the road in overtime. A career game from their receiver, a career game from their freshman quarterback, and what a win for the Bears. So far from home, and they come to Louisville and stun the 15th ranked team in